Hey, it's Mike over at Cross Country Mortgage, and it's time for your Monday morning mortgage update for the week of September the 4th, 5th. It's Tuesday. So why are we doing it on a Tuesday, not a Monday? Because it was a long 3-day weekend, and we all had the day off yesterday. Hope you've had a fantastic Labor Day weekend. Gail and I did. Let me show you a couple pictures. Spent some time out on the paddle boards. That's always a plus. And the weather was beautiful this weekend. And then last night in the neighborhood, this guy started driving around. This is the grandfather of the year. He made this airplane out of aluminum. It's a gas-powered motorized vehicle for his granddaughter. And that little propeller spins when he drives down the road. And you don't see one of these things driving in your neighborhood that often. Great thing, great guy. So I hope I can be that kind of a grandfather when the time comes. So let's talk about really what's happening in the market, what happened last week and what's going to happen this week. I always try to give you tools, tips, tactics, things that you can use when you go out and talk to your buyers and sellers to be more insightful, to basically weed through all the crap that they hear in the news and to give them the real data that's going to help them. So last week, we actually saw a 44 basis point improvement in the bond market, which means money flowed into that bond market and rates got better. Let me show you a quick snapshot of the charts. If I look at a 1-year example or a live chart of the mortgage-backed securities, and I show you this all the time, money flows in and out of this bond market, mortgage-backed securities market. When money's flowing in, that means mortgage rates are getting better, and we see an upward tick in this graph. When money is flowing out of the bond market or inflation is curbing rates, we see a downward tick in this graph. And so you can see that the highest the rates have been in years was October 21st of last year. And even though we've seen a lot of volatility since then, we've really seen a gradual, well, we haven't really seen it get down that low, but it sure got close August 22nd. But since then, we've actually seen an improvement in the market. Rates have gotten slightly better, and that's a good thing long term. So why did the rates get better last week? Why did we see a 44 basis point improvement? Well, some economic data that came out that showed the economy is weakening, and some showed that it's actually staying strong. So the weakening stuff was unemployment was up, more people unemployed. Income was flat. We've seen a steady increase in income. It was flat in last month's report. And we saw debt spending going way up. Now, this is critical because when we see spending go up, but it doesn't keep in line with income, that means that's a long-term problem down the road. And this ties into the number we saw last month, where credit card debt approached and went over $1 trillion. We've never seen this before. So this is a problem. Savings is much less lower than it's ever been. People have less money in the bank, and we're going to pay that price down the road. So something to really pay attention to. And then the second thing that caused rates probably not to get as good as they should have is inflation. PCE came out on Friday, and that's the Fed's favorite measure of inflation, and it showed that inflation is still up. Now, the good news, it's not up as much as it's been in the past. It's tepid, but it's still going up a little bit. But it was within expectations. So what are the two things we're looking at this week? Fed speaks and economic data. So our FOMC meeting, the September meeting at the end of the month is coming up. And a week before that meeting, everybody has to shut up and the Fed members can't say anything because they don't want to influence the outcome. But this week they can say all they want, and they're going to be talking a lot. And what we're really looking at is there more of a hawkish or a dovish tone with the Fed members? Hawkish means tight monetary policy. They want that rate to go up in the end of September. And dovish means, hey, we've done what we need to do. Let's just let the rate stay flat, and let's see what this does to our inflation going down the road. So we'll be paying a lot of attention to what the Fed members say this week. The second thing is economic data. We've been in a manufacturing recession for months, and that means that businesses are not making as much stuff. And this week, we're going to get non-manufacturing news. Now, why is this important? Because the servicing sector of our economy has really been holding us together because manufacturing hasn't been that good. So there are some signs that the service sector of our economy is showing signs of weakness. And the numbers coming out this week, the non-manufacturing numbers, will give us an insight if that's really true. And if that's showing true that services are starting to fall behind or weaken or even contract, that is not good for our economy. It's good for rates, but it's not good for our economy. So we'll be paying a lot of attention to that. And then the final thing, I want to give you a tip. It's a Monday tip. It's a Monday morning strategy. And I've shared this with a lot of my referral partners over the last couple of weeks, and they're starting to see some results. This is a strategy that you can do every Monday morning. I made a video at the bottom of this email that gives you the tools and tactics on how to implement this strategy. It's very, very simple. It's so simple. Anybody can do it. I gave you the data, the forms that you can use. It's in this video. You'll see the pop-up there. Just click on that and you'll access those. It's also at the bottom of the email, but it's a strategy that was shared to me by a high multi-million-dollar agent in the Midwest, a friend of mine, Jay, and he's been using this with his team and training his students on it, and they're getting great results. They're getting listing appointments every week. They're getting appointments with buyers every week. So check it out. It's worth the few minutes to watch that video, to download the forms, and to put it into strategy and do it every Monday morning. If you have any questions, any thing that you want to talk about regarding that strategy, I'm more than happy to help. Let me know if you need any help with rates and explaining anything with your clients. Have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.